Dark winter, no more. Calling on the gods of old. Stand in the white light, all in the night. You ready to ride? I hear the sound. Call to ride forth. Bring the wind. Call in the wind. Wandering around the world. Around the world, dark of day, night and day. Shine in a tree. If you please. Four corners where the wind dwell, in the dark of day, night day, cast on the wind, let the sun shine. Feel the wind, you hear who's calling, the wind finder. Call the elemental, bring the green of the earth, dark winter no more. Calling of the gods of old. Dark winter no more. In the white light. Call in the night, be ready to ride. I hear the sound. Call to ride. Come forth. Bring the wind, bring the light. Call the wind, call in the wind, feel the wind wandering around the world. Dark of day, night to day, shine on the wind in the trees, if you please. Four corners where the wind dwells, dark of day, night to day, cast on the wind, let the sun shine. Feel the wind, do you hear who is calling? The wind finder, call the elemental, bring the green of the earth. Dark winter, no more. Dark winter, no more. Calling on the gods of old. Stand in the white light. Stand in the white light. Call the night, ready to ride. The horns been sounded. Come forth, bring the wind, bring the light. Dark winter, no more. Well, how's everyone doing? Give that a quick little pause. Man, I'm telling you, that song, it literally would not let me sleep for 4 days.
Trying to write it?
Calling on the gods of old. That song that just played.
Yeah, I remember hearing the different iterations of it.
Yes. There was 3 different versions of it. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were calling on you to write the song.
Oh, it wouldn't let me sleep, man. It literally, how the song started was I woke up in the middle of the night and started writing. That's how the song started, lyrics-wise. And wrote it, sent it to myself. Next day, same thing. So I opened up the song, I copied it over from the Twitter DM to a Word file and started laying it out and stuff like that. Next thing you know, I had the instrumental picked out and had some vocals going down for it. So there, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What's up, Keck? How you doing, man?
Howdy, Keck.
Hello, Keck. Hello, RR. Mikkel.
What's up, RR? Mikkel Wolf. Hail. So yeah, we just got done watching Fatman, and I gotta say, it's a Mel Gibson movie, man. It's got everything that you remember about all
holiday cheer.
Yeah. It does got a holiday cheer, but it's an action shoot 'em up movie. Yeah.
Different kind of holiday cheer.
Yeah.
But it's in more in the vein of like the Die Hard kind of Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Well, different. I mean, in the way that it's action based.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think I enjoyed it quite as much as you two did, but I think I mentioned it towards the end of the watch party, but I think this film would have benefited from like a Tarantino directing it, because I think tonally there were some things that didn't like I feel they were going for the dark humor, and I feel that Tarantino could have pulled off that balance a little bit better. And instead of the dark humor, it was really really pretty damn dark.
Yeah, it was the humor was very subtle. It was more like absurdist humor. You know, it was kind of like absurd reality. That Santa was in this kind of position, you know, that he was like having to work with the government, and you know, it was kind of like that. Not as much dark humor as it was just kind of absurdity, circumstantial absurdity, I guess, if that makes sense.
Well,
he was poking at the humor side of what he had to do. I mean, sometimes if you got to do something, you're not happy about doing it. Sometimes you got to find the humor in it. Otherwise, you just might reach out and strangle it or something. You know?
Well, I wish they would have found a little bit more of the humor.
Yeah, I agree with that. I could see a little more lighthearted humor. Well, not lighthearted, but
yeah, not lighthearted.
Dark, not lighthearted, but dark humor. Yeah, more humor.
Yeah, and I felt there were some pacing issues. I feel like they probably could have trimmed a good 20 to 30 minutes out of it and had a much tighter movie.
Well, that would have been an hour, because it's only an hour and a half. It's an hour and 34 minutes. So cutting off a half hour, you know, that's tough to. That's like an hour long movie. I mean, I guess.
The part with where the assassin was just like driving through and driving in Alaska. I think a lot of that could have gone.
Yeah, you didn't really learn too much of his character.
Yeah, and they
doing that.
Yeah, they set things up that I didn't think they really paid off. But
well, yeah, there was the whole thing with the hamsters.
Let's see, the directors.
He's like the one thing he cared about.
The directors were Isham Nelms and Ian Nelms. So Nelms brothers.
Yeah, two brothers directed.
Yeah.
I wonder what else they've done.
Writer Ian Nelms. Isham Nelms. Yeah, they're the writers too. They wrote this. They wrote it and directed it. Let's see. I'm going to click Isham's first.
But I definitely had some likes about the film. Like I loved Mel Gibson's performance.
Squirrel Trap 2004.
I loved the idea. I love the idea of Santa kind of falling on hard times and getting a little cynical and being a badass. That was my favorite part of the film, was Mel Gibson and the circumstances. I guess maybe grounding it in the real world the way they did, kind of it I don't know.
Well, did you want to see more like mystical Santa type stuff?
Well, and they kind of had that with the way that Santa healed quickly.
Yeah.
Now hold on a minute. Isham Nelms goes all the way back as a director to 2004, and it was Squirrel Trap. The next one is Night of the Dog, and he did a Superman #1 short in 2007. The Quest, 2008. Heavy Petting short. Hard to Swallow short. Lost on Purpose. So these are stuff that's not fairly not too well known.
I haven't heard of any of those.
Yeah, these guys are fresh. Let's see what Ian has.
Wonder how they managed to get Mel Gibson.
Well, it was a good thing they did.
Mel Gibson, the way I've always kind of looked at him, he's always been able to smell talent. You know, I like a lot of the movies
he's got it. Yeah, I do too. I'd say the majority of them are really good or enjoyable.
They have a lot of shorts as producers. And,
yeah, it's something you'd expect. I guess maybe this is just their, one of their first Was this this was the first feature film though, right? They've done other feature films.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Small Town Crime, both brothers, 2017. That was probably their first. Yeah, that has, let's see, John Hawkins. I don't really recognize anybody on this cast list on Small Town Crime, so this is probably one of their starts. So they're fairly unknown, I gotta say.
Yeah, I guess somehow they just got the script in Mel Gibson's hands, like probably through his agent. And yeah, I agree with you, Wes. It's a good thing they got him because he fit that perfectly. I don't know if I could think of another actor that could pull off that kind of Santa.
Nope. The fact that Kurt Russell's already playing Santa Claus in another movie,
well,
they probably wanted him.
Yeah, his Santa's much more classic Santa. The Christmas Chronicle. I've watched both of those the last week, and I mean they're good. They're pretty good classic Christmas movies. And he plays he looks like he's a great Santa too, but totally different. Now I can see him pulling.
I've seen the first one.
I could see him pulling off this kind of role. I guess not as because he can do this. Snake Plissken kind of, but Mel Gibson just has that kind of grumpy. Maybe Harrison Ford. I could see maybe him. He has that grumpiness to him, but I don't know. I don't know if Harrison could pull it off. I mean, what do you guys think of Harrison? You think he would be good for this?
Harrison Ford?
Probably not.
Yeah, he's too stiff.
Yeah, he's too stiff.
He's not big into humor. He's not a fan of humor. He's more dry humor.
Well, his Indiana Jones. I mean, there's a lot of humor in there, but in different.
Yeah, but it's mostly dry.
Yeah, it's dry. Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have worked for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mel Gibson was just a great choice.
Yeah. Yeah, he really made the movie, I thought.
Wow, did you know that he played himself in The Simpsons?
Mel Gibson?
Yeah, Mel Gibson played himself in The Simpsons in 1999. Yeah.
No idea.
I kind of remembered faintly that he kind of starred and rolled in it as the cartoon character, but yeah, I'm scrolling by it. My favorite character that he's played is Porter in Payback. I'm liking the director's cut of that. Yeah, the grumpiness. He's got the right kind of grumpiness going on as an actor. Things I've seen him in. Yeah.
Yeah, RR says escape from the North Pole with an eye patch. You know what's funny about this? Because I mentioned that Snake Plissken, I mean, in the movie, well, I don't know. Are we giving spoilers away? I guess we are. If you guys haven't seen it.
Spoiler alert.
I guess you could call it, spoiler alert. I guess you could call it an Easter egg, yeah?
Yeah, because the end of the movie, Santa ends up with an eye patch. So that's why I was thinking Snake Plissken. Yeah.
I think it was a nod to Kurt Russell. What do you think?
I mean, possibly, because Kurt Russell's also in a Santa Claus movie right now, and they could have sort of wanted him for this role, and maybe because of that, they couldn't get him. But yeah, I mean, it definitely it made me think of Snake Plissken as soon as I saw him with the eye patch. Like, oh man, I even mentioned it to my wife. I was like, "There's Santa Plissken."
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew what I was going to expect from a Mel Gibson movie. Blood, gore, lots of gunfire, and stuff like that. Good action.
A little bit of hot cocoa mixed in.
Yeah.
Hey, would you like the scene where he's at the bar? See, that was another thing. Like the bartender girl, I thought there was gonna be something more with her. I thought she was gonna bite the dust, and that was gonna, kind of spring Santa into like revenge mode. But it didn't really, because they kind of seemed to make her character a slightly bigger deal than she actually ended up. She didn't really turn out to be involved in any of the story, other than a couple scenes that she was in. But it seemed like they were kind of building her character up. They had this relationship, but they didn't really go anywhere other than that one scene. I thought, oh, you know what? She's gonna she's gonna bite the dust because he's gonna find out. You know, when she mentioned she knew Santa's color, the car color. I was like, oh, that's it. He's gonna take her out, torture her. You know, get the information. Santa's gonna find out, but it never went down that route. Oh, plus they call him Chris. They don't call him Santa at all. It's just Chris Kringle. Everyone in the town knows him, which I thought was also pretty funny. And to see that kind of humor, like everyone in the town knew him. He had like a P.O. box. You know, they just know him as Chris. They don't really know who he is, I guess.
Well, that whole scene in the bar where I don't know, in my memory of scenes in a bar, the bartenders have always been a little bit memorable in movies when they show bar scenes, you know. And so it kind of made kind of a little bit of sense for the bartender to have a little bit of significance.
Well, I mean, I thought that too for the one scene, but then they show her again, and then they show her at the post office, and I'm like, okay, this is now they've showed her 3 times. She's obviously significant, but then she doesn't end up being significant.
I think we should kind of set up a little bit for the chat so they kind of know what we're talking about.
Sure. Yeah, we should probably, yeah.
So here's a basic plot. The Santa, you know, there's a spoiled young boy that gets a lump of coal for Christmas, and he's rich, so he hires a hitman to go kill Santa.
Show up for Christmas at all.
Well, he's not. Yeah, he's not. He lives with his grandmother, who's elderly, sick, but she has a lot of money, and he is. You find out early in the movie he's scheming money off of her. He's like stealing her checks, so that he has all this money because he's stealing it from his sick grandma. So you get the picture right away. This kid's like a rotten apple.
Yeah.
Yep. A real rotten apple. Like he tortures some girl that won first prize when he won runner up, and his hitman tortures her and makes her write a letter saying that she cheated so he could be first place. Yeah,
it's like he's like what, 10, 11 years old.
Yeah,
he's a young kid, and he enters this. Oh, it's a school competition. It's like a invent. You guys remember Invent America? Did you ever do that?
No, it was like a science fair. Basically.
Yeah, science fair, right? Yeah. And he's used to getting first place, so he gets second place, and then hires a hitman to kidnap the 10-year-old girl that got first place, and this sweet little girl, and then threatens her to torture her if she doesn't write a letter to the school claiming that she cheated, so he could have first place. It's like that was like that too was kind of like absurd, humor. That was like, okay, this is like.
Yeah, I mean, he threatens to hook her up to battery cables or something like that.
Electrocute her.
Yeah, so I mean, again, tonally, I was hoping for dark humor, but it was too serious for me. It was like he was really going to torture her, And
yeah, I mean, he was very close to it. I wasn't sure right off the. Well, I guess that's good though. They kind of keep you guessing. Like, is this the kind of movie we're going to get? Are they going to go there with this?
Oh, they went there.
Yeah, well, not with that though, but yeah, they did go there. Yeah. Okay, so yeah,
Santa, come out and play.
Oh, sounds like a hardcore version of The Kid from Toy. Yeah, with Richard Pryor. It is. It's like the evil version, more evil version of that kid.
Oh man,
that's a good movie. Toy.
That kid was hardcore bad.
This kid was pretty hardcore bad.
Yeah. Oh, this kid was terrible.
Horrible.
So yeah, the hitman's looking for Santa and eventually finds him after
the hitman also has something against Santa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hitman does too. Yes.
You find out early on he collects toys that have Santa's little like a metal plaque on them that says "Made in Santa's Workshop."
Yep.
And he pays people to buy their toys off of them because he got like one toy as a kid and never got anything else. I guess they kind of didn't explore that too much. They kind of hint at the end there was something more to the story that they must have cut out. But I guess I have a feeling that his parents must have died or something, and he was asking Santa to bring them back.
Right.
And Santa couldn't do that. They kind of alluded to it, but it wasn't really too clear. But anyway, yeah, you find out he's like obsessed with Santa and collecting people's toys that Santa had brought for them. He buys them off of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, they alluded to some sort of abuse, like Santa had failed him. They showed like cigarette burns, scars on his arm.
I think that's from his parents. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he wanted to be taken away from his parents. Yeah, but you're what? Yeah, Wes, I
LDJ,
might
how
be
you
it.
doing? Yeah, welcome,
Hey,
LDJ.
LDG Pixels.
It seems like I think this
Hello.
is your first time in the chat. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Good to have you.
Chilling with some friends watching late night streams. Well, there you go. We're talking about the Fatman, Mel Gibson's Fatman Santa Claus movie. So
And the rule is don't knock the shot glass off the top of your bottle of cognac.
Yeah, that's alcohol abuse. You don't want to do that.
That's what that. I'd have cut the shot glass.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like that getting broke. Yeah. Oh, and if you got them, drink them. Cheers.
Cheers.
Drink them if you got them.
So yeah, I
cognac. Good stuff.
Good night, Keck.
Good night, Keck.
Good night, Keck. Cheers. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean.
So he hires where were we? He hires a hitman to go after Santa, the 10-year-old kid.
Yep.
He hires a hitman to go after Santa because he got coal for his present. You know what's funny about that scene too is he comes downstairs and there's all these boxes of gifts. You know, like Santa took the time to wrap up the coal in all these boxes, like extra torture, which I thought was kind of funny. You know, that he took the time to wrap them up.
Instead of just dropping it in the stocking,
Yeah, or just leaving it under the tree. Like he wraps them up and puts it in a box with a bow, and I just thought that was kind of funny. And the kid opens it up and it's a coal, to which he's not too pleased. So he hires this hitman to kill Santa Claus.
And part of the reason that Santa Claus, you learn later, is ripped and like practicing boxing and doing all that stuff is because this is not the first kid to hire a hitman or disgruntled child turned adult that has gotten something from Santa they didn't like that tried to kill him.
Yeah.
It's a regular thing. It happens often.
Yeah. Hello, just another red shirt.
Hey, just another red shirt.
Yeah, he indicates that, this is not his first rodeo. You think I got this position because I'm jolly? What does he say? Something like I'm jolly.
Yeah.
Fat and being jolly.
Yeah. Fat and being jolly. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good line. But and Santa now lives in the North Pole, but it's not like it's just a little town. There's no like Santa's workshop. I mean, there is, but it's like it's like an underground bunker factory.
Like a Quonset hut, I think.
Is that what they call it?
I think so. Those semicircular buildings.
Yeah, the one that like went down underground.
Yeah,
it looked like an oval wooden
version of it.
Yeah. At first, I almost thought it was a big barn. Then they backed up the pan on it, and it's like, oh, that's like a Quonset.
I thought it was like an underwater, an underground like bunker.
So it's very grounded in our world. It's like he lives outside of a small town. There are elves, but the elves all pretty much dress in contemporary clothing.
Oh, except for their shoes. They do have the pointed shoes with the little bells on the top of them.
If you look
they have
at
ears,
if you look at their clothing, their clothing doesn't look quite like everyone else's clothing.
Yeah,
there's
a little
subtle different. There's some subtle differences that I noticed.
I'm happy though that they had like the the little bells on their shoes, and that they had the pointy ears, and that they were shorter. Because I wasn't sure. I'm like, how are they going to do the elves? Are they just going to be like regular people? I wasn't really, because it's so kind of grounded in reality. I wasn't sure how they were going to go with that. But I was happy that they did look like they were elves, like something different.
Yeah, just short people.
Yeah,
pointy ears.
I liked the military brass and the reaction to what the elves were eating, and the other soldiers' reaction to what they were eating.
Yeah, sugar and carbs. That's how we live so long.
Yeah. Take a nap
20 minutes every 8 hours, 20 minutes sleep every 8 hours so they can work 24 hours straight. How long do you do this for? Forever.
Forever. Yeah, I'm
so
looking
it's like
around.
a town.
I'm looking around. I'm seeing pies, cakes of every kind of dessert, candy cane, chocolate desserts, and I'm just like, this is not a normal cafeteria.
No. Yeah, and it was, he drives like a red Ford pickup truck.
Yeah, like a 70s F-150 or F-250 or whatever.
Yeah. So it's he doesn't. It's not like he's got. I mean, I guess he has magic. You find out he heals quickly, but that's really it. Otherwise, he's kind of like a regular sort of guy.
Well,
He's got problems. He's got problems paying. I don't know. I don't know exactly what. I guess making a living. He had to work with. He had to cut a deal with the government so that they could fund him. He's got some deal worked out with the government. You find out pretty early on that they're aware of him, who he is, that he's Santa Claus, and he's got some kind of deal worked out with them where they pay him to. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know what they paid him for.
I think
Christmas going or
for the elves to create like weapons or something.
Well, that was something. That was what the deal. That was the deal he had to make to get the money this year. But it seemed like previously he was getting like because he only got half. The first scene where he comes in, him and Mrs. Claus or Mrs. Kringle are in his living room, and there's the army guys there, and he's like, hey, I've only gotten half of the money this year, and they said, well, you only made half the toys last year, and he says, well, it's not my fault that half the kids are bad, and they got coal in their stockings. So there was some kind of deal previously that they worked out where he's getting paid to deliver toys every year by the government. I'm not really sure exactly how that worked out, but because he was short, they had to cut another deal to make ends meet, and that's where they started developing like weapons for the government. That's how I understood it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were making flight consoles for inside the fighter jet.
Yeah, like the control panels. Yeah. Santa's an arms dealer for the CIA. Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's kind of basically it.
So yeah, it's a straight up kick ass Mel Gibson movie.
The military moved in to the North Pole, and it's like watches over the elves as another funny scene is when all the elves are numbered. They just call them like 1 through, well, it's 7 through, I don't know how many there are, 100 or something like that. And there's a scene where the military is all like getting them fit for to work there, and they have to clip off all the bells off of the top of their shoes. I thought that was another funny
metal
little
detectors.
moment. Yeah, so the metal detectors didn't pick them up. So they're going through. It's like a haircut, when you join the military, they shave your head. I thought that was like the equivalent to that. Clip your bells.
Yeah. Well, the opening scene was after they showed the kid and all that. When they switched to Santa in the morning, it showed him from a far distance away. With it looked like he was using a 9mm or maybe a 45 ACP. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
which.
that's right.
And he was shooting these cans, and he was quite a ways back. He's a good shot. And the second can he nicked and didn't shoot it. So he was annoyed and then proceeded to shoot the can again, and then he shot dead center. But that was how we seen Santa.
Yeah, that's how they introduced him.
Yeah.
So you got the feeling right away that this guy has to keep like a pretty good aim. He's got to keep sharp with his shooting.
Yeah. And they really
see him punching bag, working out in the boxing.
Yeah. And then they show the one scene where they're bringing in all the equipment, and this stack of heavy boxes stacked on top of each other. Fatman walks over there and goes, hold on, fellas. Let me get this. And they're looking at him like he's nuts. And he just goes, yeah, there you go, fellas. And they're looking at him like, holy cow. Well, what's his reply?
They do show, steroids. He says steroids. Which is funny too, steroids. Yeah, Santa taking steroids. Yeah, you could. He obviously has some kind of magic power. You know, it's not overtly in your face, but they little hints here and there.
Yeah,
he's been around for a long time. He heals quickly. He's just got kind of super strength.
It's hinted and suggested slightly, I think.
I'm kind of curious if he's going to grow his eye back or not.
I know. I was thinking that too. I was curious about that too.
Being that he heals like that, I think the eye will grow back.
Spoiler alert to the end of the movie, but yeah.
You guys want a spoiler?
Well, I guess I already said he's in a patch at the end of the movie. So,
well, yeah, they don't know how it happens though, or the circumstances, or just how gnarly that scene was.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there are some pretty gnarly scenes.
That was pretty gnarly.
Yeah. Well, so as this hitman is given the task of killing Santa, he doesn't know where to begin. You know, he doesn't know how do you find Santa. So yeah, and I'm sitting there with my wife watching it, and I was like, I kept predicting one thing about this. I kept predicting what was going to happen, and I kept being right.
A lot of click.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, well, if I were hunting Santa, I would. I mean, I was kind of on the right track, not exactly, but I was like, I would I would write him a letter and put a little tracking beacon in there, you know, and then wherever the letter goes, you know, it's going to go to him. Just track the letter, and it's kind of what the guy did. So that the killer is watching this cartoon of Santa Claus, and he sees Santa opening a letter, and he's like, that's the idea right there. Yeah. So he goes to he finds a postal worker who's en route delivering letters, and he goes up and asks the guy, you know, hey, letters that go to Santa, where do they go? What happens to them? You know, the post office or the postal worker tells him, well, they go to this bin, you know, I don't know, it's like bin 36 or something like that. And he said, what about after that? He said, I don't know. That's all I can tell you. He said, but you know, my manager so-and-so, he could tell you, he knows. So the guy, the killer, just shoots the postal worker in the back, like in the broad daylight, in the middle of the afternoon, so he could take his outfit and pose as a postal worker. So this guy's like, he's a pretty crazy guy. They show him training in jiu-jitsu, and he's training, you know, it's not like he's in a real fight. He's training, and he takes the guy down. He gives him an arm bar and intentionally breaks the guy's arm and starts jumping up and down, screaming, I broke his arm. I broke his arm. It's like, what the heck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, megalomaniac on steroids.
Yeah.
And probably other.
So he's like a killer,
stimulants.
You know. Yeah, he wasn't right in the head.
Yeah, there was a lot of wrong with him going on. A lot of wrong with that kid going on too.
No, he didn't shoot it out with a Red Ryder BB gun.
Yeah, and
nope.
And you know, him going out because you know, remember after he picked up that check, he went and delivered the Christmas gifts. But they really didn't show that. They segued into him coming back, and he's kind of limping haggardly along, and I'm like, something don't look right. Why is he limping?
I thought that too. I thought the way he was walking, I'm like, wow, is he tired or what's going on there?
Yeah. And then he gets into the house and all that and pulls his shirt up and he's bleeding. It's like, oh, someone shot Santa.
Yeah,
that's how they establish he heals quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Towards the beginning of the movie.
Well, they say he was like a bunch of hunters took some buckshot at the reindeer and hit the sleigh, like two in the sleigh, one in him.
Yeah.
So he's bleeding. Yeah. And then they do show, I wasn't sure. I was like, is this low budget, or are we not going to see a sleigh? Are we not going to see reindeer? Because I wasn't really sure the way they were setting it up, you know, if we were going to see any of that stuff. But they do show the sleigh and they do show reindeer. So, you know, it at least helped to feel a little more like it was Santa Claus.
Right.
Some version of him. Yeah, he's got Wolverine's healing factor. Well, they don't show it healing like exactly that quickly, but you do get the impression that he heals.
Well, he didn't go to the doctor for that wound, that's for sure.
Nope.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, well, he's going to get the hemostats and dig the bullet out and all that stuff. And it's like, nope, just wash it off, bandage it up, and go to bed.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Hug the wife, likes nothing, all that. Next day, he's sitting in the chair, and she sits on his lap, bumps his leg. He goes, oh, she's like, what happened? It's like, oh, damn deer hunters buckshot through the sleigh.
Yeah. And you see him at this bar where he just has like a shot. He takes a shot. What is it, like an Alka-Seltzer he puts in there? What was he putting in there?
That was a shot of maybe that was
whiskey. No, I think it was like
Whiskey.
Jack Daniels.
He put
with like an
Alka-Seltzer.
They called it a Johnny Carson. He's like, I'll have a Johnny Carson, is what he ordered. And it was a shot of whiskey with I think it looked like an Alka-Seltzer. I was like, what does that do? I don't really know.
It's a little weird.
I've vaguely heard of that style of drink. You'd think it'd bubble over.
That's what I was. I would think it would bubble over.
Well, I wouldn't think that alcohol would have that reaction.
Would make it bubble?
Yeah.
No, maybe not. It's not carbonated. Yeah. So
the tablet is.
But the tablet is. But yeah, I don't know. I just know he called it a Johnny Carson, and it was a shot of whiskey with like some kind of thing he dropped in there that looked like an Alka-Seltzer. But I don't know if you guys in the chat know what I'm talking about. If that's like some popular thing, I don't know.
I'm looking at it. I'm thinking to myself, what the frick is he doing? What the frick's he putting in that shot of whiskey? I'm like, he put it in there. It's bubbling. What the hell? What is that?
Right.
It's pretty much what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up a Johnny Carson drink with Alka-Seltzer, but I'm not seeing it pop up, so I don't exactly know what it was.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, nothing's popping up here, but
I will give.
Anyway, I thought it was kind of
search.
funny. I thought he was going to be putting some kind of peppermint thing in, or some kind of more holiday type thing, but no, they didn't go into any like warm, mushy Christmas type tropes in this. This is definitely not that kind of movie.
No. Yeah, it's like I said, I think you guys probably I think you guys probably enjoyed it more than I did. Maybe if I would have had some whiskey, I might have enjoyed it a bit more. But again, the tonality and the pacing issues were kind of a problem for me. I thought it had tonality and pacing issues. I think if Quentin Tarantino had directed this film, it probably would have that style of direction and that his humor, because he can do dark and funny, and I think that's what they were going for, but I think they failed to achieve it, at least with me.
Well, I found a drink called a Johnny Carson. It's 1 twist lemon peel, 2 ounce of light rum, 1/2 ounce of dry vermouth, and 1 dash of bitters.
It definitely was not that. This was a shot glass with a little tablet in it. That was it. Because the tablet was even in a packaging. Like he had to rip open the packaging, drop the tablet. I mean, it looked like Alka-Seltzer. So yeah, I don't think it was rum either. But even that, there was no vermouth or twist of lemon or anything like that.
Apparently, Johnny Carson was quite the barroom brawler back in the day.
Oh yeah, quite the drinker.
Really, I didn't know. Well, I knew he was a drinker, but I didn't know he was a brawler.
Yeah, that's what got him to quit. He and Ed McMahon would go out drinking, and Johnny Carson would get 10 feet tall and start some shit and get them into fights.
Really?
Yeah. With Ed McMahon, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It is.
I can't see Ed McMahon throwing down.
He did. He would be Johnny's backup. Once Johnny would start throwing some, start swinging, Ed McMahon would be right there with him.
Is that McMahon? Was he a tough guy?
Well,
It didn't sound like it, but it sounds like he wanted to back up his friend and went with it.
Yeah.
oh shit,
I mean,
wasn't
Johnny
Ed
Carson,
McMahon
he was a small guy.
wasn't Ed McMahon, wasn't he like 6'5" or something like that?
He was tall, yeah.
He was a big guy, yeah.
He was
Big guy.
tall.
Johnny Carson, not very tall.
No, he wasn't very tall.
No.
Or very broad or big, or I mean, he was a small guy. But doesn't mean he can't be a scrapper.
Well, Johnny Carson sounds like he sure was a scrapper.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't know that. That's see now, like if that would happen today, it couldn't happen today because it would be all over Instagram. People would be filming with their cameras. They got away with that stuff back then because no one could film it. Now it'd be all over social media.
If they would have had camera phones like we got now back then, geez, man, we'd know so much stuff. It's
Yeah.
funny. What's up, Larry? Larry, how you doing?
Hey, Larry.
Hello, Larry. You can't drink rum, Mikkel. That makes me very, very bad.
Are you saying it makes the pirate come out in you? Hey.
Oh, yeah. Rum is usually known as like a kind of like a mood enhancer, mood lifter, but it affects people differently.
Yeah, whiskey calms me down, and whiskey supposedly makes some people, a little angry. After my third double, after my third double, I can get that way. After the third double shows up, I could get a little surly, a little mean.
What I like about cognac is I don't lose my filter.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, cognac is good stuff.
Yeah, I drink a lot of cognac.
Well, the bottle I get is $29. It's a good deal.
What is it? What are you drinking?
It's slightly bigger than a half pint. Hennessy.
Oh, okay.
Hennessy, very special.
Yeah, $29. That's not bad.
That's down at the Shell station.
Yeah, kind of prefer. I think if I'm going to go that route, if I'm going to go a non-bourbon route, I usually will go with Scotch. I usually get like a Glenlivet or a Glenfiddich.
Yeah, Glenlivet's not too pricey.
Yeah. The next time I go to that gas station, I'm going to have to wear a bandana. Because
why?
Because he told me I'm gonna not be able to serve you unless you wear a mask, and so I'm not gonna wear a mask. I'll wear a fucking bandana when I go in. And then I'll tell him this is a stick up. Gotcha, just kidding. I want some cognac. I go, hey man, you said you wanted me to wear a mask. Besides, my mask's probably gonna say "fuck off" on it. Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, yeah, you can. That's within your rights.
Yeah, it's gonna say "fuck off." Yeah, that's what it's gonna say. Yeah, because and what was really weird is the last time I was in there, I talked with the guy. He didn't say shit. Last time I was in there, must be slipping or something.
And you weren't wearing a mask either, but you didn't say anything?
Nope.
Maybe they came down. Did they come down harder on your the rules there?
They have a mask order. The governor gave one, and as far as I'm concerned, it's not constitutional. It's an unconstitutional mandate, and the governor just can't. He can't write policy. It's got to go through the state house.
Yeah.
And the people here in Washington State, if they want a law passed, they sign petitions to get the law passed, and then to get the law into the vote, so that way coming up on the ballot, if it's something they want, and then we vote it in. And that's how some things are legislated here in Washington State. Certain laws will get petitioned, they'll get signatures, and the signatures, after they gather them, they need so many. to get it in on the ballot, so that way people can vote for it.
Oh yeah, we have that too. The initiative process. It's the propositions. Yeah. Well, I've got a little bit of hope in that many of the sheriffs are saying that they're not going to enforce the stay-at-home order.
Yeah, same with a lot
Yeah,
of
I've
the sheriffs
seen that
here in
too.
Washington State.
Yeah. And people are saying no, they're not going to do it.
Yeah, and there's a restaurant over here in Washington State that's staying open, and they're asking everybody from all over the region, from Oregon, Washington, to come up there and support.
Yep, I haven't seen. As far as I can tell, I think all the restaurants are still open here, even though they're not. The stay-at-home is happening.
Yeah,
I
the
mean, for
restaurants here
takeout.
in Washington were ordered shut for indoor service.
I mean, they're popping
So
up little outdoor tents and stuff, but
yeah,
Now
there's that going
here
on.
you can't even do outdoor anymore. They've shut in LA. They've shut indoor and outdoor. Restaurants are only for pickup and delivery.
Well, there was a judge in California that wouldn't let Newsom do some things, and so basically it's happening on the local level now. And so judges on the local level are going to have to order them to stop doing that unconstitutional shit. They're messing with people's livelihoods. They're messing with their bottom dollar, their pocketbook, And I think that's just freaking insane and horrible.
I mean, especially around this time of year, it's Christmas time.
Especially.
Yeah, and I just can't see people opening up, these towns that are closed. I just can't see them opening up before the New Year is over because, why would they do that?
I tell you what, there's going to be a lot of New Year's protest parties. I'm telling you that right now.
Yep. I'll probably do a live stream on New Year's. I've always been kind of a homebody anyway, so I don't think this has been affecting me as much as it has a lot of other people. People that are super extroverted and social butterflies. I feel bad for them because this, not being able to have contact with people, that's what charges them up with energy,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That gets real rough. That's probably the people that are, bumping themselves off.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, this isn't like a huge change. I don't. Going out is like a special thing that only happens every once in a while.
Yeah, the sort of look at it, the frog in the pot slowly boiling. How long until people start noticing they're boiling?
Yeah, it is boiling right now. It's for sure is boiling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
While down under, you guys closed your borders and created a gulag in New Zealand, and your police can still walk into your homes without a warrant. Wow. Hey, Tina, how you doing?
It's crazy. Hey, Tina.
Hey, Tina. Wow, that is crazy. Close our borders and create a gulag, New Zealand.
Well, here's in my experience, the human being can only take so much until they decide, okay, enough's enough, and it's going to happen. It's just it's the way people were made, the way they were built, and to go against one's nature is really a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People were meant to be free.
Mm-hmm.
Now the you have one not president-elect saying that they want to have a national mask order for 100 days and shut the whole place down.
I just heard that Australian Sky News was making fun of the United States news media. They were blatantly making fun of them.
Well, they've been covering things more accurately than our mainstream media has been covering things.
kind of why they were making fun of them, because they were laughing at them, and they were basically, in so many words, calling them liars.
Yeah, good. I mean, I think it's good that you have the ability to see news from other places like that.
Yeah,
because you're sure not getting it from our mainstream media.
I'm gonna have to find the Australia Sky News YouTube channel now.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna have to check that out.
I think I'm subscribed to that channel.
Oh yeah, send me a link if you can. Let's see here.
When people lose everything, they lose it. That was my Gerald Celente impression. Doing my best. Oh, I got unsubscribed from Sky News. Interesting.
Very interesting, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, people are fleeing the state in droves.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the people that actually produce things. Of course, the mooches are sticking around.
Yeah, everyone that's a lot of big company. You know, the first who was it? The first big company that basically started Silicon Valley, Hewlett Packard, I think.
Hewlett Packard is moving to Texas.
They're moving to Texas now. Yeah.
Hey, it was a matter of time. You can only mess with the business so much. Ruin their business. They're going to move. They're going to go where it's profitable.
Well, I mean, Elon's moving space. Well, SpaceX is already there, but he's moving Tesla to Texas. Yeah. Oh, by the way, there's supposed to be a SpaceX launch. It was supposed to happen 2 days ago. Got pushed back till today. Now it's pushed back till tomorrow. But it's supposed to be a big launch.
Well,
really?
First,
what are they launching?
It's like their first big high altitude rocket.
Oh wow!
Like spaceship, not rocket, spaceship. Now they don't.
Man, I take it.
Yeah, I mean, they've
already had one manned one, I think.
This is going to be unmanned. Yeah, they're just doing it to test it and to see. They said even if it crashes, the data that they can retrieve from it will be helpful. So they're kind of expecting it to crash, but they're hopeful.
Wow. I would not
you
want
can stream
like
it too, SpaceX.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, businesses have been leaving California for a long time, decades now. And anytime a business would leave, like the mayor of Sacramento used to be the Senate pro tem, the president of the Senate, and a business would leave, and he'd be like, "Oh, well, good riddance." And it's like, no, you fucking idiot! It's not good riddance. It's bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the attitude in California when they leave. Good riddance.
Yeah.
You're just an evil, greedy corporation. We don't want evil, greedy corporations.
That's providing how many millions of tax revenue are these companies providing? Good riddance. We're already a bankrupt state. Now you're losing.
They just said good riddance to jobs leaving the state.
Yeah.
We have a pension problem here in California, and you know what? A lot of the people that work for the state government, they're taking early retirement because they don't think that there's going to be a pension there. Like even though they'll get paid much less, they're taking it earlier, but that puts a strain on the state now because they have to pay it out now rather than later. So it's just ridiculous.
Well, apparently some of those people have been talking to their financial advisors.
Yep. Once you start collecting it, it's a bankruptcy. I don't think a bankruptcy can the people that are already collecting the pension, I believe that's protected. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, there's a lot of gold investment going on right now in 401ks.
Yeah. Gold, silver.
Yep. Because gold and silver, it'll always be worth something. Other stocks and bonds on goods and all that, they can fluctuate. Oh yeah. All right, how about a musical break? I clicked the wrong one. There we go.
No, it was a cool effect. I liked it.
All right, let's see here. Let's sound check. Sound still working?
Yep.
All right, because it does disconnect when it stays connected for a little bit. Yeah, it's weird. Here we go. I find myself wandering the land in search, look for a promised land, looking for that stack of sound, looking for that stack of sound. The enlightened ones casting the sound. When I was a boy, I climbed the trees. A magical sound, moments caught in time. Travel in a land of mystery, walking in the footsteps of history. Walking in the land of the ancient ones. Ancient ones. The ancient ones of magical moments. Step back, walk the land. It's the journey that matters. Take the step, take the chance, roll the dice. I find myself in the land in a search of. I find myself wandering the land in the search, looking for promised land, looking for the stack of sound. The enlightened ones casting the sound. When I was a boy, I climbed the trees. A magical sound, moments caught in time. Travel in a land of mystery, walking in the footsteps of history, walking in the land of the ancient ones. The ancient ones and magical moments. Step back, walk the land. It's the journey that matters. Take the step, take the chance, and roll the dice. I find myself wandering the land in search, looking for promised land, looking for the stack of sound. The enlightened ones casting sound. When I was a boy, I climbed the trees. A magical sound, moments caught in time. Wow. There we go.
Who are the enlightened ones? Besides us, I mean, obviously.
Well, the ones that you've seen in the imagery, Robert Hunter, Jerry Garcia, who's the other guy? John Kahn, and played with him in album called Old and in the Way. Wiseman, something Wiseman. I'm drawing a blank. Wow. But yeah, those guys are no longer with us. So they're the enlightened ones because they're no longer here, and they made great music.
They have passed on to the enlightened.
Right. And yeah. And you notice there's quite a little bit of a folksy kind of sound with a little bit of bluegrass mixed into the background a little bit there on that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's this sound filter that I like to use on the instrumental part. It gives it a slight locomotion sound. And used real lightly, it can sound really cool. Use too much, it just sounds really loud sound underwater in a fish tank sound. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that was cool.
Indeed. So yeah, that next one there. Fine. I don't even know if you've heard that one yet. Rock and Roll Wasteland.
No, I don't think I have.
Shellback and Tommy got to see a couple songs come to life.
Well, I might have heard this one then, because I think I've heard the one that Tommy like was backstage while you were like editing it and stuff, mixing it. I think if that's this one, then I have heard it that night.
Yeah. Let's give it a quick play. I found an article after this next song. It's about the petition to call on Warner Brothers to bring Johnny Depp back for Fantastic Beasts.
Oh,
we'll talk about that here in a minute. And we'll go ahead and give this song here a play. Notice it's a movie theater.
Oh, that's cool. Popcorn.
Yeah. I was walking through a rock and roll wasteland, looking for reverence, looking for spirit. We took the step, we made our way out of the desert, landed by the oak tree, lighter than air, can't you see? Spinning like a top, just couldn't stop. Salute. Leave your troubles at the door, get your dance on the floor. We can soar, follow the beat, let it move your feet. Don't want no politic like chicks on house. Grounds for the door, sing it loud, pour drinks for all. I was walking through a rock and roll wasteland, looking for reverence, looking for spirit. We took the step, we made our way out of the desert, landed by the oak tree. Lighter than air, can you see? Spinning like top, just couldn't see. Leave your troubles at the door, get your dance on the floor. We can soar, follow the beat, let it move your feet. Don't want no politic like chicks on house. Grounds for the door, sing it loud, pour drinks for all. I was walking through a rock and roll wasteland, looking for reverence, looking for spirit. We took the step, we made our way out of the desert, planted by the oak tree, lighter than air, can you see? Spinning like a top, just couldn't stop. Leave your troubles at the door, get your dance on the floor. We can soar, follow the beat, let it move your feet. Don't want no politic like ticks on hounds. Grounds for the door, sing it loud, pour drinks for all. I was walking through a rock and roll wasteland, looking for reverence, looking for spirit. We took the step, made my way out of the desert, landed by the oak tree, lighter than air, can you see? Spinning like a top, just couldn't stop. Leave your troubles at the door, get your dance on the floor. Weekend store, follow the beat, let it move your feet. Don't want no politic like jigsaw nouns. Grounds for the door, sing it loud, or drinks for all. I was walking through rock and roll wasteland.
Awesome.
That's I like that song a lot.
So, what would you guys rate Fatman?
I was muted.
I was gonna say, I didn't know what was going on there. I thought maybe
it's like I looked down. It's like, well, shit, I'm muted. That song's got some vocal range changes with the tempo of the music, and it was fun to do, but it was a little difficult. Not nowhere near
a very like Grateful Dead type of sound to it.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I look for a certain quality in the instrumental. Like I'm looking for a little bit of folksy sound, a little bit of down home kind of sound. I'm looking for a little bit of blues thrown in there, and I'm looking for a little bit of that bluegrass thrown in there. You mix it all together, you got this hybridization of music, and it's kind of what the Grateful Dead does. They mix just a whole bunch of different stuff together, and so I kind of listen for certain sounds, and there's some songs I'm looking for the horns, for horn play in the song, or I'm looking for a lot of piano. I've noticed that I like a lot of piano. Piano is cool. I like piano is probably something that I wouldn't mind learning.
Yeah, it seems a lot less painful than playing a guitar.
Oh my God, man! I used to have an acoustic guitar, and man, my fingers were so messed up. My God! And
they just another red shirt.
Yeah, and then you can't feel nothing with them. You can barely pick anything up with them because you're playing guitar all the time. Oh yeah,
I think that's why those. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think that's why those guys do so much heroin, because it's so painful to play guitar.
Yeah.
Geez, you mean just on the fingers or on the wrist?
Well, just fretting the fretboard with your fingers, man. It builds up calcium and all that, but eventually you got really no. For me, I had no feeling in my fingertips for a while.
Yeah, to even make it sound remotely decent, I don't know. You have to press that stuff hard, otherwise it's like, it just makes a really bad sound.
Well, I mean, you eventually develop like callus on your fingertips where you can't really feel it anymore. If you play it enough, it becomes kind of numb.
Pretty
much.
Do
heroin.
and here's the thing. If you do like wood craftsmanship and stuff like that, or you're real artistic that way, you're going to lose sensitivity in the fingertips of say you're playing right-handed guitar. You're going to pick with your left hand. You're gonna hold this with your left hand. You're gonna pick with your right hand. You're gonna fretboard with your left hand. And it was quite painful for quite a while.
It can be tough on your fingers and on your wrists too. Just like the position that you have to curve your fingers in your wrist. I mean, you got to definitely develop like the muscles there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
because
it's not
all those
not
muscles
easy.
in your wrist and all that stuff. You seen Santa Claus in Fatman? He was using that.
Yes, Yeah, that was a good scene too, where he's using the forearm.
Yeah, I mean, he breaks one, opens a drawer. There's like a couple in there, grabs another.
Yeah,
it's like okay, this is the common occurrence.
Like his strength is super strength. He's got some above human.
Yeah, we're given the impression that he breaks those often.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, did you notice how quick that elf took apart that bomb?
Yes, super fast. I thought that was a nice moment where they show the experience that they have.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good moment. I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm like, come on, take it apart. Take it apart. I was cheering in my head, take it apart. And boom, it happened. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would I give Fatman? Yeah. I give it an 8. I give it an 8.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say probably 7.5. Probably 7.5 because I think I agree with Wes. Like a little bit more of the dark, like a little bit more of the humor part of it was probably missing. The pacing was okay for me because it was only an hour and a half. I think the pacing was okay. I get the scene where he's like the killer's kind of driving. It didn't really. They kind of opened up little things here and there, but they didn't really fall through with them. And you just little things like the bartender. I thought they were setting that up to be a bigger character, or it didn't really end up being that way. But overall, it was enjoyable. Mel Gibson was really good. The killer was really good too. I forget his name, but he's always good in everything. I mean, the little kid was like the 10-year-old or whatever, however old he was. Yeah. He was good. Mrs. Claus was good. I liked her. So yeah, I'd say it's like 7.5.
Yeah, again, I didn't enjoy the film quite as much as you guys did. So, I loved Mel Gibson in it. Mel Gibson kind of, carried the film for me. Always wanted to see what his character was going to do, or, just him being cantankerous and kind of an ornery ass. I think, I thought it had pacing issues. So, I think I come in at like a 6. 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, going into this movie, I was fully expecting to see a Mel Gibson movie, and I seen a Mel Gibson movie. Yep.
Yeah. And again, he was the best part of it.
Yes, and basically, he was the core of the story, and then you had the background story and the surrounding story that filtered in with it. And overall, worth a watch for sure.
Yeah, probably, I would definitely recommend it. Yeah.
And keep in mind, this is released in the theater and released on digital as well.
Oh, this is in the theater?
This is theater at home. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was $14.
I hope it does. Well, I don't know how well these can really do with online and all that, but I mean, I hope it does. I hope it does pretty decently.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd like to see Mel Gibson acting in some more stuff now. They were talking about a new Lethal Weapon, weren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they have been.
Yep.
I did a video about that, about Lethal Weapon, them possibly doing it, and everyone wants to do it. It's just with everything right now, putting a stop on stuff.
Yeah, but I'd really want to see like a new conspiracy theory.
Yeah, especially right now.
Oh yeah.
Now, do you think they would recast it and kind of remake it though?
No, I would want to see the same character. I'd want to see the same character.
Yeah, I would too. But you think Hollywood would do that, especially with Mel Gibson?
Of course not. No, Hollywood, they're virtue signaling bullshit, and the nepotism there. No way.
And he's not exactly the most favorite guy in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely not in Hollywood.
You could say he was the first Ricky Gervais.
Well, and back in the 90s, I mean, first of all, that stuff didn't all really come out until afterwards, but he was such a box office draw that, it didn't matter. Like that, the box office spoke over top of whatever he may or may not have been saying. And I think, I don't know, maybe if he had said things that what he later would say that got him in trouble, I think it was probably kept under wraps more because it was he's a box office draw. But once he got older, that the draw isn't there as much, and then all of a sudden you get these problems now where you don't see him in movies that often, unless it's like an independent kind of movie like this,
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or those straight to DVD, sort of not straight to DVD, straight to video on demand releases that he does now.
Well, it seems like he's got the acting bug again. He wants to get in front of the camera.
Yeah, well, if you look at his movies, he's pretty much consistently been acting. They're just a lot of them don't really get a lot of, but like he's pretty much been consistently acting for like the last 10 years. He has a lot of movies that have come out. They're just not, they're like straight to demand, so they don't really get a lot of publicity. But I mean, I've seen a few of them. Well, we mentioned a few backstage, Bear. Edge of Darkness. You mentioned Get the Gringo, which I got to see that one. I haven't seen that one.
That's a
Bloodfather.
Yeah,
Get the Gringo, really funny good. and intense action. Okay.
And those were all within the last 10 years, and he's done more than that too. So it's just he's not getting the big roles. I think the last big movie I saw him in was Daddy's Home 2 with Mark Wahlberg.
Edge of Darkness. He's got a daughter in that one, and that one's if you got kids, that one's hard to watch.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Apocalypto.
Movie. Yeah, Apocalypto. Yeah, that's intense.
If you can handle dealing with some of the inaccuracies, Apocalypto is an okay movie to watch. There are a lot of inaccurate things about that movie.
Yeah, the inaccuracies. Yeah, but it's pretty good. It's intense. It's an intense.
I've seen
movie.
that movie in the theater on IMAX. Man.
Yeah, wow, visually that'd be pretty cool in IMAX, but it's a hard. I saw The Passion of the Christ in the theater. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, me too.
I had popcorn and a Slurpee, like a slushie, and man, I didn't take a bite of popcorn or sip that drink at all. I was like so guilty. I felt like so guilty, I'm like, oh my God, I can't enjoy anything. That was probably the toughest movie I've ever had to sit and watch in the theater. I mean, it was good, but oh God, that was the toughest movie I've ever had to sit and watch.
I've actually seen The Passion of the Christ play. The biggest, I can't remember the name, but at the time, they were the biggest play that traveled to all the churches across the nation that put this play on. And it was huge. And it was, I'm not a Christian and all that, but I went to it anyway because it was just freaking beautiful. It was a beautiful performance. And I'm a fan of plays, and I really don't care what it is. It's a play. It's cool. I want to see it. And I got asked if I wanted to go, and it's like, well, sure. What the hell? And it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest traveling
he does.
play.
You know what I haven't seen? Did you guys see that movie he directed with Andrew Garfield? He plays like the Met. It was based on a true story.
What's the name of it?
I forget the name of it. Andrew Garfield plays. I think it takes place in like World War I or II. I forget if it's World War I or II. I think it's World War.
Oh, we talked about that movie. Wes, we talked about that movie last night. Remember?
Dunkirk.
Oh, you did?
Dunkirk.
No.
1917.
No. This was probably, oh man, maybe 6 years ago or so. It was Mel Gibson directed it.
Warhorse.
No, it wasn't Warhorse. It wasn't Warhorse. Wasn't that Spielberg?
I'm looking at Mel Gibson's. What year was it? I'm looking at it right now.
Like maybe 2015, 16. Andrew Garfield started in it. He plays.
Bloodfather?
No. He's not in it. He just directed it.
See here, go.
He plays a real life, so he plays a soldier, but the Andrew Garfield's character is based on a real character. He's a Christian, so he doesn't want to fight in battle. So he decides to become a medic, and he goes in like during battle scenes and like pulls guys, that are injured from the front lines and brings them back and like saves their lives.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Yes, that's it. Hacksaw Ridge.
I have it.
Yep.
I have it. I'm like,
I want to watch.
I'm like,
that.
I know that movie, and I'm like, Hacksaw Ridge.
I've heard that's really good. And
oh my god, it's good, but it's freaking bloody, man.
Oh yeah,
when I got it,
RR's been saying it in the chat like 5 times. He's like, Hacksaw Ridge, guys. I wasn't watching. Sorry, RR. I wasn't looking at the chat.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I was looking it up on IMDb.
We're all looking at our screens. Meanwhile, he's like, guys, it's right here, right in front of you.
You could say we had Flibberty Gibbet going on. You know what that means? It means we were gabbing.
Yeah.
The first Blu-rays I ever bought were Sands of Iwo Jima and the Flags of Our Fathers.
Was that Spielberg?
No, that was Clint Eastwood.
That was the Japanese. Oh, Clint Eastwood. That's right. Yeah, he does it from like a Japanese point of view. He has like it's like the movie from 2 different points of view, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting and very well done. Beautiful too. That was like that was my first real experience watching a Blu-ray. I was like, wow.
Yeah, Letters from Iwo Jima. Yeah.
Have they ever made a movie that was based off of the book, The Art of War?
Ooh,
I don't know.
No, like an Art of War book. No.
Yeah.
Well, that book's more of like it's not really a novel though. It's more of like a strategy, like a memoir or a strat. Yeah, like a how-to.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you couldn't write a movie around that. You could write a movie about him. Was it Tao Zhou or what's his name? Who wrote that?
I'm having a hard time saying it.
Yeah, God, I can't think of the guys.
That's exactly.
I can't pronounce it.
I can't say.
Right. Yeah. Oh God, I can't think of it. But RR will probably say in the chat. But they could they could make a movie about him writing The Art of War and like what provoked him to write it. His thought behind writing. I mean, that'd be kind of an interesting idea.
Let's see here. Oh wow, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I tried to tell us 4 or 5 times. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Darn, it only works if we look at the screen. Well, that tab anyway.
Sun Tzu, that's it. Hey, Cavatino. Yeah, okay. I knew it was close. I think it said Lao Tzu or something. Tzu. Yeah, Sun Tzu. Yeah.
So the Hennessy is good. Did you know that cognac is a type of brandy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cognac has to be from the Cognac region of France. That's what the difference is, and it's made from champagne grapes.
Yes. And I'm wondering what the difference between this particular cognac and regular brandy. Because when I looked it up, it said it was a in the brandy family, I think.
Yeah, it's just it's like champagne, like actual champagne has to be from the Champagne region of France. Cognac has to be, so the grapes have to be from the Cognac region. I mean, that's really the only difference between that and brandy. It's just how it's made, how it's aged, and more specifically the region it comes from. That's really what the EU is like real specific about their regions and how they label things. They're not like the US. Like we call sparkling wine, we call it champagne, because we don't have those. We don't adhere to the EU laws, but technically it has to be from Champagne, France.
Right.
Otherwise it's just sparkling white wine.
I gotta say, I'm starting to become a little bit more fonder of Hennessy cognac compared to a single malt 18-year Scotch.
Yeah, I a good cognac, it depends. They have their moments, but I would probably pick a good cognac as well. I mean, I like Scotch a lot. I like smoky Scotches, but man,
I like peaty.
Cognac's my favorite probably.
There's the Space side is the region that I like my Scotch from.
Oh yeah, Space. Yeah, Space. SPEYSIDE, right? I think it's how you spell it.
It's a peatiness in the moss and the water they use.
Yeah.
I got this website I go to every now and then. Once every couple years, I'll get a single malt 18-year-old Scotch.
I'll tell you, if you want to get one of the most peaty scotches you've ever had, is it's called Octomore. Man, that thing is like a smoke fire pit.
Mm.
Octomore, yeah, it's super peaty, super smoky. Good though.
Because I used to get one every Christmas. I'd get a fifth, and
Yeah.
you can always tell the good stuff. And I'm really surprised Hennessy doesn't come with a cork. I'm really shocked that it doesn't.
I thought it did.
It
No,
does.
no.
Hennessy comes with the cork. Oh, maybe it depends on the size you get.
The smaller one, it comes with a cap.
Yeah, the smaller one might not come with it, but the normal 750 milliliter, that does. Larry says Art of War, Wesley Snipes movie. not that one.
Good stuff.
Good cognac is very delicious. The French are full of themselves, but they make a great cognac.
Oh yeah.
Although for the money you can't beat Hennessy.
But hey, here's probably somewhere hidden in time. There was a Scotsman that discovered he could make scotch out of grapes.
Scotch out of grapes.
Scotsman, yeah. I'm joking, humor. That somehow there was a Scotsman that ended up in France and like, oh, I can make whiskey out of this.
Yeah, and then end up with scotch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good scotch. Mm.
Yeah, it's because you have like Irish whiskeys, which are traditionally much sweeter and mellow than a Scotch, which is usually. I mean, they're not all peaty or smoky, but I mean, most of them have a degree of that. They're not as smooth or mellow as Irish whiskeys.
No, the Irish. Well, you're just drinking that to get a little tossed.
Well,
or to mix it with stuff. They're good mix, like an Irish coffee. It's a good mixer for that.
Think of where they make it in Ireland. They got different recipes for their whiskeys and stuff like that. Probably different ingredients, different conditions.
Yeah, and I'm sure they do. I'm sure there's somewhere in Ireland that makes like a smoky, peaty type whiskey.
I'm sure.
But yeah,
but
the majority of them are
Jameson's.
Well, Jameson's really sweet and mellow. They're normal. Now there's different labels.
Well, there's standard Jameson's. I've always thought it had a little bit of a smoky aftertaste.
Oh, really? Oh, I've always thought of it like a real kind of smooth, mellow.
It's very, very subtle. Very subtle.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Irish whiskeys that are not really that well known as well. Like there's Redbreast, that's a really good one. There's one called The Irishman, that's a good one. IPA Jameson. Yeah, that's right. They make an IPA, Jameson IPA, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the IPA stand for?
The Indian Pale Ale.
Oh yeah, I've had that one. Yeah, that is really good. It has that. I think they the barrels they have they store IPA in it, and that gives it the flavor. Oh, yeah, it's good stuff. I had a few of those on stream. Yeah, it's great.
What's that
stuff? I haven't tried that yet. It's just Jameson. It's Jameson's IBA. I mean IPA.
So
IPA.
Yeah, like
IPA different type of what is IBA is like the hops level of an IPA.
Yeah.
IBU, no, IBU is the hops level.
Yeah, they've got a few of them. They have a Guinness version now, kind of too, I believe, a stout. I've had them both. I preferred the IPA one because you get that kind of fruity, kind of that that you get with hoppy. Yeah, you get the flavor of the beer. So like if you're doing a ketogenic diet like I'm supposed to be doing right now, you could have the flavor of the beer without having all the carbs of it.
Yeah, they have a Jameson coffee whiskey too, which I've had.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I've got a little bit of that left. Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's kind of like Wes, you probably like it because it tastes similar to the cold brew.
Yeah. I've passed it by a couple of times and I haven't picked it up, but I'm hitting the grocery store.
You'd probably like it. It has a very cold brew kind of taste to it.
Yeah, then I definitely need to pick it up. I love my cold brew.
Yeah, I mean, you could just kind of just drink it, straight or on the rocks, and it pretty much tastes like spiked cold brews. Is what it tastes like. So
Nice.
yeah, you probably like it.
Yep. Yeah, I'll have that on the rocks. I've got some. Now I've got Studio C set up. I've got like a place to put stuff on my right and on my left. I didn't know that YouTubing could ever be comfortable. It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
Really? Didn't know that.
Nope. Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is kind of nice. I mean, it's a little cold at the moment on my feet, but other than that, it's okay.
Yeah, a little floor warmer, and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's on the other side of the screen.
Some electric socks, you're good to go.
Yep. Yeah, get a little blanket.
Do either of you ski or snowboard or anything?
Those are things I didn't really do because those are the things that I probably just follow my ass really big time, and so I kept it to the toboggan run and stayed away from skis and snowboards.
Yeah, I'm too uncoordinated for it. Unfortunately, I don't even really know how to skateboard.
Oh, you'd have these things because it's obviously really cold for your feet, and snow boots are not always the most comfortable or the warmest. So they used to have these, I'm talking about like the 80s, early 90s. That's probably like early 90s. Electric socks where you'd actually have a battery pack that was on the top of where your calf would be. You'd plug the battery, and it'd be like a D-volt battery, and the wires would run down through the sock. Thankfully, they never shorted out, and they'd like heat your sock and keep your sock, like an electric blanket kind of idea, but for your feet. They worked pretty darn well.
I think I remember those.
What happened to those? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I never had any, but I seem to remember like my grandpa getting one of those for a Christmas gift or something.
Yeah, they were a great new invention back then. Like, oh my gosh, heated socks! Wow, electric socks.
Electric
Yeah,
socks.
it was a revolutionary in keeping your feet from numbing up.
Yeah, grandpa.
You guys realize I'm from northwestern Indiana, and just like south, a little bit south, east of Chicago, not too far from Chicago, Lake Michigan. Big, nice polar vortex winds coming down across Lake Michigan, out of Canada, down into Indiana. My God, man. Lake effect snow dumping all over the place here and there. And besides the normal blizzards and stuff that come through, and that Canuck wind that comes down. Oh, boy. I want to talk about cold. So, electric socks. Oh, man. Talk about a blessing. But a lot of times when we didn't have electric socks, we probably had a couple layers of cotton socks, and then a layer of a wool sock, and then serious boots, because we spent lots of time down at the creek. And fishing, it happened year round down there, man. And you'd be surprised what some people will go through to go fishing. Get away from that crazy ass world and get a break from it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would it be ice fishing, or would the lake freeze over?
Yes, the creek. Yes, the creek during the parts. Yeah. There was times that we used the frozen over creek as a highway to get to the pond that we were going to go ice fishing at. Yeah, we walked like 10 miles on the ice. It was frozen that thick. I mean, you could jump up and down on it, and that ice wasn't going to break because it was over a foot thick.
Damn.
And we're talking right around 20 degrees, 25 degrees. After
electric socks would come in very handy. They made electric mittens too, with the same idea. A battery pack would go in like where your wrist would be. They didn't make gloves because I don't think they could figure out how to get the wires, but they made the mittens because we had those too. Oh, RR says when I have to plow the snow on the uncovered tractor when it's 15 out at 3 a.m. I have heat packs on my. Yeah, then they came out with the heat packs. You kind of like crack them and they, start letting off heat. That was like the next thing. You just threw them in the bottom of your boot or mittens, little heat pack things. That was the after the electric plug-in version, battery operated version. They just had those heat packs. Wait, RR, where do you live? 15 degrees.
Minnesota?
What part of the?
Wait,
is that where it is?
Talking about other Christmas gifts that went.
Well, I know there's places in Minnesota that get that cold.
I think it's really cold in Wyoming.
Montana, cold.
Yep.
What Christmas gift that went to funk?
Oh yeah, my grandpa got a smokeless ashtray for Christmas, and that thing was not smokeless at all. Yeah, it had a little
Where was it
fan.
supposed to go?
Well, I don't know. It had a little fan. I guess it was supposed to suck the smoke into it so that no one else smelled the smoke. But all it did was blow the smoke everywhere.
Yeah, I would say all that would do is disperse it somewhere else, in a different direction.
Oh, you're probably close to the mountains. Are.
Oh, he's in Washington. He's up by you.
Yeah,
I think he's
you're probably near the mountains
side of the state,
or on the other side of the mountains somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, all right, nice. So you're a West Coast.
Lots of snow. Because
here, see that
Olympia, hardly any snow.
Holy crap! They still sell smokeless ashtrays. Wow.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. They got to get miles out of that TV commercial from years ago with the smokeless ashtray. You know.
They have smokeless indoor grill, like little mini smokeless indoor grills now, and I don't know. I guess maybe they work better. They're supposed to have some kind of, I forget how they do it, but they like ionize the smoke or something, so it actually eradicates it, so it doesn't ever lift out of the grill.
That's weird.
Yeah, like it, because there's smoke has to go somewhere, but it does something to the smoke that actually like destroys it. I forget how it works or how they explained it. It was, it was like a late night infomercial one night. I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. But yeah, it was like, how does the smoke? It's got to go somewhere, but it like actually destroys the smoke. Somehow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah.
So is it electric?
It is. Yeah, it's electric. You plug it in.
Wow.
Yeah.
It doesn't take the smoky flavor away, does it?
No, it's supposed to keep like the smoky flavor because it cooks it with the smoke, but then the smoke, as it like rises to like the top of this indoor grill thing, it somehow gets rid of it. I don't know how well it works. It could work as well as Wes's grandma's smokeless ashtray. I don't know. The infomercial looked, anything at 2 a.m. when you're laying there, you're like, oh, that looks like a pretty good idea. You order that.
Yeah. Yes, Cavateño Che. That's why that joke was so funny, actually. In Gremlins, yep. I don't think it was quite that bad, but it didn't make it smokeless. Eventually,
Gremlins, aren't they working on something with Gremlins?
I think a Gremlins 3 and a Gremlins cartoon.
Yeah, I know they're doing an animated. Yeah, the cartoon. Are they doing a third movie too?
I guess they're talking about it, although I don't know where they would go from the other one.
Yeah.
Is that on Vashon Island?
30 miles from Idaho.
Oh, wow. You're way far. You're supposed to be really beautiful up there.
30 miles from Idaho, 70 miles from Montana, 2 miles from the Canadian border.
Yeah, I've been up in Montana in the middle of the winter when there was snow everywhere, man, and it was freaking cold. That snow makes a special sound when it's that cold. And well, you know how snow can kind of look a little melty and starts looking a little less glistening. It doesn't do that up in Montana. It always looks nice and pristine because it's just freaking cold.
Well, here on Tuesday, I don't know about you, Wes, where you're at, but it's going to be 79 degrees on Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Let me check the weather report here.
Close to 80 degrees. I mean, literally a degree less than 80 in early December.
Tuesday, 68. Well, Monday, it's going to be 70 degrees. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so you're much cooler.
Yeah, we've been having pretty cool weather. It's been getting into the low 30s here.
Oh, now so I just checked right now. It says Tuesday's actually 81 degrees now. So wow. 1 up 2 degrees. So 81 degrees. Freaking December, what is that? 7th, 8th, 9th, December 9th.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of a warm snap. It's 43 degrees right now. It must be getting ready to rain.
Well, they said the we've got our Santa Ana winds right now too, so it usually warms things up when you have the Santa Ana winds.
Right.
Because we're on a fire watch too for LA.
Oh wow.
Parts of California around here are under fire watch, yeah, because of Santa Ana winds and the
This
dry.
time of year, there is a lot of tall gold grass.
Well, it's all gold because there's nothing green left in this state.
Right.
At
Well,
least down this way.
from
Maybe
basically
northern.
from into August, into the end of July into August, you got all this gold grass all over the place. This, and it doesn't really ever go anywhere. It blows its seed, and then it becomes a fire hazard. After that, catches on fire real easy.
Yeah, that dry. I mean, I don't remember the last time we had rain. Like a good amount of rain. The last time we had a good amount of rain was a week after the shutdown began in March.
Holy shit.
It rained for like that whole week straight, and then we haven't really had a good amount of rain the rest of the we had like a day here and a day there where it maybe rained for like an hour or two. And that was it.
It's not much.
No, I mean it's not much at all. Like the last good rain was the week of the shutdown. It rained that whole week, and then yeah, that's it. Other than a little bit here and there. Wow, it's 25 degrees there right now. Jeez.
Wow, that's actually warm right now.
I actually like
Montana,
cool weather.
I think I've been there this time of year. It's been a hell of a lot colder than that. That's warm, I think, for Montana right now. Yeah, I was in Billings, Montana, man. And my God, it was the middle of winter. I think it was like, January 6th. And basically we were being chased by a blizzard and it faded away, and we were chasing a blizzard for a while. And it was pretty freaking cold out. It was like, I want to say it was like 12, 15 degrees in there somewhere. A slight little breeze blowing, and oh my goodness. And nothing, little town, one light, and a restaurant across the way, and really not this crossroads town, basically. And we're getting ready to cross. All of a sudden, all these cars pull up, and the light changes, and these cars out of nowhere in the middle of the night, and we're all just looking at these cars go by. It takes over 5 minutes for all these cars to go through, and we're all looking at each other like, where the hell they come from? Because they were kind of in between us and coffee, and we've been on this damn Greyhound, and we still feel the wheels moving.
Where did they come from?
I'm thinking that there was probably a factory somewhere, and there was probably a shift change, and I'm thinking that's probably right, because it was just a whole bunch of cars out of nowhere. Just like, wow. And then it went back to complete silence. And when you would walk on that snow on the buildings, you would hear your footprints echo, the crunch every time you walk in the snow. It was so damn cold.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Wow.
I like my rainy winters, and occasionally sunshiny 60-degree day. Every now and then in the wintertime. You never know; it happens. But yeah. Whew.
Oh, yeah, that's like our basic winter here, 60, 70 degrees. I mean, it's like, let's see, what right now it's 52, 54. So, it gets in the mid to low 50s at night, but.
And, I've been down in Shoreline in July when those winds were coming in, and it got down to like 40 something at nighttime over there. It was cold at night over there. Went up the 9, and we camped up in the mountains, and it got cold. And that was the middle of July, and it got cold at night, Weather's a funny thing the way it happens, Sun goes down, gets cold. Some areas. And then sun comes up, blistering hot.
Oh yeah, once that sun hits, man, it's like it instantly raises the temperature 10 degrees.
Right. And it was kind of the same in Utah. Sun went down, it got real cold, but sun come up, nothing for a 113-degree day in the shade.
Yeah.
I think when I was in Vegas, it was 115 in the shade. I think it was 118 in the direct sunlight. And people were cooking on the pavement with their pans, cooking breakfast.
Man.
That
Cooking
hot.
eggs on the pavement, literally.
On the pan, yeah, they put your pan on the pavement, come back to it in about 5-10 minutes. Freaking hot, cook all your food. Yeah. Because I was there to see the other ones, I do believe. And it was basically Bob Weir and the rest of the band members after Jerry had passed. Went to the what's the name of that? Sam Boyd. Sam Boyd. I gotta say that is the weirdest place to see music. It had such a weird sound, and so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up and go ahead and tell them what you've been up to, where you can be found, and we'll play two more songs, and then we'll say goodbye and end the stream, and say thank you to the best chat community in the community. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Definitely.
The best chat on YouTube.
Numero uno.
indeed. Well, I'll start with you, Final. Tell them what you've been up to.
Okay, well, I have rebranded my channel, so that's number one thing. I am still FinalDeathStar, but my channel name is now Enter the Unfamiliar. So it's I kind of took the idea of Enter the Nether, and kind of created my channel around that. I'm going to focus more on that kind of content. But Enter the Nether, apparently, as I found out with Stephen Walton the other day, is like a Minecraft thing. It's like I guess it's like the alternate universe of Minecraft. You can enter into this alternate universe, and it's the Nether. So when you search that on, so to avoid any kind of conflicts with Minecraft, I've come up with Enter the Unfamiliar as the show title and also the channel title. So if you haven't subscribed to me, you can search me. Just search Enter the Unfamiliar. I think I'm like the 6th one down. Or you can still type in FinalDeathStar. I still pop up as the number one option for that too. So, which is weird, I guess, just because so many of my videos have FinalDeathStar in it, it still pops up for that. So, as for now, you can follow either. I mean, it's the same channel, but you can search either one and you'll find me. But yeah, I've got my show tomorrow night. Enter the Unfamiliar. We're going to be talking about the Nimitz encounter, a famous UFO encounter that was witnessed by military, documented, and kind of accidentally leaked. So we're going to go through that. And if you're into the paranormal, UFO phenomenon, biblical prophecy, strange mysteries, and hidden histories, come over and check us out and give me a sub if you are so inclined. Thank you very much, Bear. This was fun. Good. I enjoyed the movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it was a nice alternative kind of Christmas movie,
Yes.
as opposed to all the Hallmark stuff that's which is a guilty pleasure of the wife and I, but this was a fun movie.
And then those of you, if you refresh the browser, you will find everyone's channel linked below. It's right below the hashtags. Because when I was setting the stream up, I didn't get all the main labeling done. I just got it done a little while ago. So that way you can, if you refresh the page, you will see the links there. Yeah, Fatman, great movie. Not necessarily something you want to watch with your kids.
Definitely.
And this is a spoiler alert. Don't want the kids seeing Santa get shot in the head.
But he does live. He does live. He does live, but he loses an eye over it. So,
and me and Wes are like, he shot Santa in the head. What?
Yeah,
Huh?
I know. It was
What the
such
fuck?
a
What's going
it was
on?
a shocking moment because I was like, "Is that it? Are they going to kill him?" And I thought, well, you know what? They set up earlier in the movie that he heals quickly, so I'm guessing he's not dead yet. And he wasn't, but he did lose an eye. And that's the thing we actually didn't get to at the in our review of this movie is that there's a big shootout at the end of the movie, and Santa. Well, the other guy gets shot up too. They both get shot up, but Santa gets shot in the head at like point blank range, right through the eye.
Something shoots out of the back.
Yes, his eyeball.
It was very detailed.
Yeah.
We're all
but,
rooting for it
he
to grow
lives.
back.
Yeah, he lives, but he's wearing a patch. So but I think I'm guessing it probably does grow back.
I'm gonna assume it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's wearing a patch, it's sort of like a Snake Plissken Easter egg. Have you?
Yeah, very Snake Plissken-esque.
And the mere fact that Kurt is playing in the Christmas
Chronicles
1 and 2, both good movies. I haven't had a chance to watch part 2 yet, and I'm going to probably check that out.
It's good.
That's something you can watch with your kids.
It's enjoyable. And I like Goldie Hawn has a much bigger part in it. So it's I really like having those two together, in the movie. I mean, considering they're like, well, they're not really technically married, but they've been together for, 40 years.
Yeah,
so it's nice seeing those two together.
The universe probably considers them married.
I I think everyone considers them married.
I bet you if they got married, their relationship would probably end.
Let's say hail to Angelus Draven. Hail, Angelus Draven.
Yeah, hail, Angelus Draven.
Hail, Angelus Draven. Welcome.
He saw Fatman. He likes it. He said it's great.
I guess I'm the weirdo that didn't really particularly care for it.
And FinalDeathStar's channel, Enter the Unfamiliar. I will have to start. I have to relabel it because it says FinalDeathStar.
Oh, I think if you click on it though, right now at least, it still takes you to my channel. But yeah, I mean, it is technically you have to. Oh no, I guess it doesn't anymore. Okay, so no, it doesn't anymore. I just yeah. So now the algorithm caught up. So now you got to put an Enter the Unfamiliar. I think if you still search, if you just go to youtube.com and type in FinalDeathStar, no spaces, I think then I still come up. But
I have on my channels that I have listed below on my main channel page. I have Gary's channel, Wes, yours, Scotty's, and Steven's, and Immortal Coil, Overlord, Comics Division, Harvey Zone, Nerdrotic Live, Odin movie reviews, OMB reviews. He changed his channel.
Oh yeah, he added another channel or changed it. Yeah, I saw that. I think he added a second. Also, John Talks. John now has John Talks and then John Talks Entertainment. So he added I think he added two extra channels, but I'm not sure what the third name of the third one is. Yeah.
And at the very end, I have Geeks and Gamers. And
yes.
Those of you that are in the chat for the first time, those are it's called the Phantom Menace I Like. All right. And Wes, tell them what you're up to, where you can be found, and we will play 2 songs that it's a good possibility FinalDeathStar has not heard these yet.
All right.
Take it away, Wes.
You can find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast. I talk about current events, pop culture, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, gaming streams, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it is my webcast. Hope to see you there, my friends. Thank you.
Hail to that.
Hail.
And so with that, and Wes, you kind of forgot something.
I also have a Patreon. I have a $10,000 a month tier called the Illuminati tax write-off tier. So if we have any drunken millionaires out there, you can get a tax write-off. Anybody need a tax write-off?
What if you get some? That's great. I hope someone subscribes to that. I hope there's someone who does that. That's awesome.
Here.
There has to be a drunken millionaire out there.
There has to be. Yeah. I know there are. Someone's going to find it.
The banner, folks, says it all. Read the banner. Read the banner. Read the banner. Yeah, read the banner. read the banner.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
You're like, what banner? Oh, that banner.
I go the one that's down at the bottom there.
All right, so we will, as they say, press the button.
Yeah, press the button.
Press the button. Flowers in the park, singing of better times. Wish it would rain. Just a plain sunset after the mist clears. Do you ever wish for blue skies after the mist clears? The rain has stopped. Looking for rainbows on the horizon, sunset so clear. Cherry on top of that, flowers in the park. Maybe it will flow in the right direction. Flowers in the park, singing of better days. Wish it would rain, just a plain sunset after the mist clears. Flowers in the park, singing of better times. Wish it would rain, just a plain sunset after the mist clears. Do you ever wish for blue skies after the mist clears? The rain has stopped. Looking forward for rainbows on the horizon. Sun setting so clear, cherry on top of that. Flowers in the park. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Yeah. Next one is same as the other one. Yeah. Words from the wise old wizard, friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Power, fearful of the shadow, renters of delusions. The fuses are blown, why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth? The ship has sailed. Record playing like a broken record, using too much power, never leads to truth. The grand old show, the reckoning reality of majesty, the ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, the friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Truth to power, fearful of a shadow, branches of illusions. The fuses are blown, why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth. The ship has sailed. Records playing like a broken record, using too much power, never leads to truth. The grand old show, reckoning realities of majesty, the ship has sailed. Salute. Words from the wise old wizard, friends till the end. True intentions in their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, Are friends till the end, true intentions and their flags. You'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Truth, the power, fearful of the shadows, adventures of delusions. The fuses are blown while you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth. The ship has sailed. Record playing like a broken record, using too much power never leads to truth. The grand old show, reckoning realities of majesty, the ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, from friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. True, the power, fearful of the shadow, adventures of delusions. The fuses are blown. Why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth? The ship has sailed. The ship has sailed. Yeah. So that is a say is the end. Good night, good night, good night. We'll talk to you later.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
sweetheart.
Good night,
well,
everyone.
it's time to go.
Do.
Bye-bye.